for this first session, we'll be looking at sustainable bioeconomy development in Eastern Africa. We're going to be discussing the importance of a sustainable bioeconomy, not just as a new area of growth, but also as an important means of achieving the SDGs. We'll be looking at trends in the global efforts to transition to a bio-based growth. And then we'll also be looking at the kind of policies that are needed, including the added value of a regional bioeconomy strategy. So without further ado, it is my singular honor to welcome Dr. Segenet Kelemo, Director General, International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology from Nairobi, Kenya.
Good morning. Honorable Christophe Basivamo, Deputy Secretary General of the East African Community, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Betty Maina, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development in Kenya, Honorable Dr. Eliud Tumbesigye, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation of Uganda, Honorable Dr. Ahmedin Mohamed, State Minister, Ministry of Innovation and Technology of Ethiopia, Her Excellency Ambassador Josepha Lionel Sako, Commissioner of Agriculture and Rural Development of African Union Commission, Ms. Mamo Kaita, Director of United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Mr. Marios Avramides, representing the European Commission Joint Research Center, Professor Mans Nilsson, Executive Director, Stockholm Environmental Institute, Mr. Fortunate Muyambi, Agriculture Secretary, Executive Secretary of East African Science and Technology Commission in Rwanda, and our keynote speaker, Professor Joachim von Braun, Chief of the Scientific Group for the United Nations Secretary General's Food Systems Summit and co-chair of the International Advisory Group on Bioeconomy. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you on behalf of ICIPE to this first East African Bioeconomy Conference, which we are holding virtually today and tomorrow. If it were not for this COVID pandemic crisis, we would have met in person. While we recognize the difficulties, the difficult times the pandemic has brought to lives, economies around the world, we also see new opportunities and new ways of coping with adverse situations. We are grateful that digital technology is enabling us to continue meetings. Just as digital technology has transformed the way we do things today, sustainable economy, we believe, will also shape our future. We are co-hosting this conference with the East African Science and Technology Commission and partners under the Bioinnovate Africa program. Bioinnovate Africa is our flagship initiative, generously supported by the government of Sweden through SIDA since 2010. With Bioinnovate Africa, we demonstrate that scientists, policymakers, industry partners, and others can work together to link bioscience research ideas, technologies, and inventions directly to business and the market. It is our belief and our way to show how investment in research, capacity building in science can lead to economic growth, social development, and other areas of development in the long run. Several players are coming together in this conference, including government officials, scientists, innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, and civil society actors to discuss a strategy for sustainable bioeconomy development in East Africa and beyond. We see sustainable bioeconomy as one of the means for Africa to contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals of 2030. It is a good model for balancing trade-offs between economic development, environmental sustainability, and social inclusion, which are key tenets of the African Union Agenda 2063, as well as the Science, Technology, and Innovation Strategy for Africa 2024. With its abundant resources, a sustainable bioeconomy offers many opportunities for Africa to diversify its economy and ensure active participation of all sectors, including men, women, and youth. It is a chance for Africa to innovatively exploit its biological resources into commercial ventures that will lead to inclusive growth and social development. ICP's research is basically putting science behind Africa's rich natural biological sciences and resources. And just to give you a couple of examples so that it's not just talk, in 2013, about end of 2013, understanding the use of insects in the food and feed arena, ICP established a program basically to utilize Africa's rich insect biodiversity and convert them into high quality protein for livestock feed. Conventionally, livestock feed protein comes from soybean, from fish meal, from other conventional sources that normally could have been used as food for humans. Today, I'm very happy to tell you that we, together with our private sector partners, and we developed a number of procedures, mass rearing protocols, processing protocols, analyzed the nutritional content of these insects, and today we have managed to replace at least 4% of Kenya's livestock protein needs with insect protein. And our target is to continue doing that. And in the next few years, we intend to replace Kenya's livestock protein need, feed need by 40% with insect feed instead of soya and fish meal. And this year, we have published our discovery that a naturally existing microbe in Western Kenya can actually block malaria transmission when it is established in a mosquito in a symbiotic way. All these examples show what Africa can do using its natural products. We have also now using insects, edible insects, as sources of rich oil that are rich in antioxidants, that are rich in omega and other high quality products. And we believe that insect oils can, in the future, in the near future, will be the source of oil, fulfilling the multi-billion-dollar oil market in the world for both cosmetic industry and for edible oil. So our potential is huge. Africa's potential is massive in this arena. ICP's vision and strategy in 2020 to 2025 embraces key components of sustainable bioeconomy. The center is actively involved in scientific research, capacity building, and innovation to deliver products that are environmentally safe and healthy. Our integrated pest management strategies are based on naturally occurring microorganisms and plants. We are leading research and product development in insects for food and feed, as I have indicated, and other uses. Our multidisciplinary team of scientists use newer techniques in chemistry, biology, molecular biology, computer science, and engineering to create models that help us predict movement of invasive pests, vectors of pathogens, and design appropriate control strategies. SCP therefore looks forward to active engagement with governments and private sector players in the region and regional economic blocs such as the East African Economic Community to build sustainable bioeconomy for the prosperity of the continent and the world at large. This pandemic has exposed the fragility of even the most advanced economies. It has demonstrated the fragility of our way of life, and a strong investment in science and research, building resilient bioeconomies, building and nurturing our ecosystems may help prevent future disasters, because this pandemic will not be the last, and we will see, if not in our lifetime, but in our children's and grandchildren's time, other pandemics and disasters if we don't take care of climate change, if we don't take care of our natural ecosystems and our natural resources. So we thank our partners, the East African community, through the East African Commission for Science and Technology, the Stockholm Environmental Institute, and several other partners for this conference. And last but not least, we thank the government of Sweden through SIDA for supporting all our efforts for establishing a strong bioeconomy across Africa. We look forward to productive engagement over the next couple of days, and I wish you a very productive conversation in this important area. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day, and we apologize for the technical glitch again.
I will say a couple of words about the bioeconomy as I see it and as we see it from this vantage point. I think the first point I want to make is that the bioeconomy has many different facets, and for different regions, it means different things. So, for example, in Europe, we're talking about the new Green Deal, the big project to transform the European economies to a low-carbon system and non-fossil system. Here, sustainability and reducing greenhouse gases is really a key feature of the bioeconomy. In Eastern Africa, while the underlying principles are the same, it's very much more about transforming the economies in the region to make use of the abundant natural resources and the underutilized agricultural system and materials, and produce value added, produce jobs, livelihoods, new businesses, grow these economies as is so much needed, and by that achieve many of the different sustainable development goals. But the bioeconomy is not only going back to the natural bioresource base, it's also primarily about using the latest scientific research, knowledge and innovation and apply it to the production of food, feed, fiber, fuel, but also to a wide range of agro-industrial and value-added products. So I think value addition to bioresources needs to be at the center of the bioeconomy strategy. Key importance for the region, where much more value can be added to the 300 million tons of agriculture and bioproduce per year produced in the region. So today, we only to a very limited degree convert biomass into higher value products in Eastern Africa. And for example, the bio-waste, which is about 40 million tons per year, is used to a very limited extent, and instead often causes environmental pollution and health problems for the communities that are exposed to it. So this is a great opportunity for the region to develop business, to develop job, to create investment in the production of novel foods, feed, fuel, and health products, and catalyzing economic growth for the region. This is the modern development of the bioeconomy in Eastern Africa. It has significant potential to support critical development goals and targets for the region. So, for example, industrialization, job creation, and green growth, where we see bioprocessing and biomass value chains in the region can be revitalized, promoting circular economy systems with reduced emissions. But also food security, the most important SDG number 2, through improving value chains and processing and providing healthy, affordable, and nutritious food for the population. Also SDG 3, improved health. For example, using the biodiversity in the region to develop new products and production systems for biopharmas, for treatment to address health challenges, not only COVID that is so acute right now, but also HIV, malaria, etc. The creation of new bio-based products, biomaterials for construction, for agriculture, enzymes for industry, substitute for petrochemicals, etc. And most importantly, we need to make a better life, better opportunities for farmers, small-scale farmers in particular, to connect them to new market opportunities, both locally, nationally, but also international markets, to be able to export products and get foreign exchange. And this can be attractive on the global market, I'm sure. If we have the matchmaking with the private sector, we can expand and improve the global competitiveness of the region with the bioresource strategy. And of course, last but not least, protecting the environment through converting waste, which today is threatening ecosystems and freshwater. So to me, the regional approach that we're going to discuss over these 2 days and the regional strategy has many advantages. And we can work in more efficient ways if countries work together, aligning and harmonizing policies and strategies, harmonizing regulation, standards for products, collaborate on capacity building to build new bio businesses, and jointly increase the attractiveness for investment in the region. So this is close to my heart, and I am very proud to be a member of the Bioinnovate Program Advisory Committee, and I look forward to the discussions over the coming couple of days, and thank you very much.
Many thanks, Professor Mons, for those insightful words. In the interest of time, we'll go straight to our next speaker, who is Mr. Fortunate Muyambi.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you for your attendance. The concept of the bioeconomy has progressively acquired recognition in the recent years. Regional economic blocs and countries are formulating strategies and all starting their intent to have bioeconomy aimed at steering the development agenda. And as a new frontier of the global bioeconomy, which integrates and systematically implements natural sources technologies, markets and policies to offer realistic and solid platform for attaining sustainability. Bioeconomy is envisioned as the succeeding economy surge following a fossil economy. It uses biological resources and transforms them into food, energy, and other products and services. It is also concerns knowledge-based sustainable utilization of environmentally beneficial clean technology, bio-based renewable natural sources, and non-material ecosystem services. Ladies and gentlemen, East African has an immense bioresources and economic growth in the region, and could strategically tap into the advantages that come with investing in the bioeconomy. Governments and policymakers are continually faced with the challenges of identifying ideal investments in science, technology, and bioeconomy innovations that can best link smallholders to market, value chains, and agro-processing opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, the STECO's mandate is to promote and coordinate development, management, and application of science and technology in partner states. Science, technology, and innovation form a critical driver of the bioeconomy. The STI lay the groundwork for the transition from the primary production and the current use of renewable sources to more diverse opportunities for food production, industrial processes, and products, and also biofuels. STECO has developed the regional STI and IP policies to foster the implementation of regional bioeconomy strategy in Eastern Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, for East Africa, there is a need to ensure food security and to make sure that we continue to be high on development agenda, and smallholder farmers will continue to be our major producers of food in East Africa for the foreseeable future. Connecting these smallholders to market, value chains, and agro-processing opportunities is increasing seen as one of the most important tools in elevating agriculture productivity and improving rural livelihood in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, rapid globalization and advent of new technologies and trade regimes and growing global demand for food, feed, renewable materials, and agriculture are changing the conditions of agriculture, forestry, and utilization of genetic resources worldwide. At the same time, revolutionary achievements in the field of biosciences are preparing transition towards bio-based alternatives for energy and material becoming more economically viable and mainstream. This has led to the development of the knowledge-based bioeconomies. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, there is a need for supporting initiatives that effectively link public research organizations, universities, and market actors that will dramatically improve the chances of East African farmers, agro-businesses, and agro-processors benefiting from the rapid advancing field of biosciences. Business incubators, linking public research organizations, universities, and market actors are also a key to improving the chances of bioscience innovation benefits, reaching smaller holder farmers, resource poor communities, and a broad stake of market actors. ESC would like to thank the Bioeconomy, the Bioinnovate Africa program, Best Participe, and the participants for taking time out of their busy schedule to attend this important conference. We also thank GRC, African Union, UNECA, STECO, and BCA partners for making this conference successful. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muyambi. And we'll now come to our last speaker. Our last speaker is Honorable Christophe Basivamo. After he has spoken, he will also lead the launch of the East African Bioeconomy Observatory, which is an online information portal that will assist in the development of the bioeconomy in Eastern Africa. Honorable Christophe Basivamo is the Deputy Secretary General in charge of productive and social sectors at the East African Community. He was appointed during the Heads of State meeting on 8 September 2016 in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Prior to his appointment as Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Basivamo was a Member of Parliament of the East African Legislative Assembly. Honorable Basivamo has also served as a former Rwanda Minister of Lands, Environment, Forestry, Water and Mines, and Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources between 2002 and 2011, in the Republic of Rwanda.
Honorable Ministers here present, Honorable Representative from the African Union, Representative from UNECA, Director General, International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology, Executive Director, Stockholm Environment Institute, Senior Scientist Officer, Bioeconomy Knowledge Center, European Commission, Joint Research Center, Acting Executive Secretary, ISTECO. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. It's a pleasure to be part of this meeting, and I thank you also for your participation. The East African community lays emphasis on developing policies and programs aimed at widening and deepening cooperation among the East African community partner states. The objectives of the community is to develop policies and programs aimed at widening and deepening cooperation among EAC partner states in political, economic, social, and cultural fields, research and technology, defense, security, and legal and judicial affairs for the mutual benefit. So to say, you are a community in an integration process where to attain objectives, our partner states, 6 partner states, have committed themselves to establish a customs union where we are now implementing a single customs territory, a common market where we are now implementing free movement of people, goods, capital, services, and a monetary union towards an ultimate political federation. And I wish to inform you that currently a team of 12 constitutional lawyers, 2 from each partner state, are on board preparing the East African Community Confederation Constitution. They have been appointed by the summit. These institutional arrangements are expected to promote balanced development and equitable distribution or sharing of economic benefits arising out of economic and political integration. And I wish to say that currently we are happy as East African community to be the best integrated regional economic community in Africa among the 8 regional economic community in Africa. And this is thanks to all these pillars which have been put in place by our leaders through the treaty establishing the East African community from 2000 up to now. The East African community region stands at a critical turning point in its socio-economic transformation and development. The improved performance of the GDP over the last decade has raised the aspirations of East Africans and sprouted renewed interest for investment in the region. The EAC heads of state are determined to implement the necessary agenda as enshrined in the East African Community Vision 2050 to fulfill the rising aspirations and the continental and global expectations. However, such regional ambition can only be attained on the wheels of a solid base of science, technology, and innovation. And this is because STI, science, technology, and innovation, is a key driver of socio-economic development, and it is essential for the growth and competitiveness of national economics in this 21st century, and helps to solve a range of economic and social problems faced by nations today. This is a resounding lesson from the advancement of industrialized and newly industrialized countries. Ladies and gentlemen, East Africa's economies are among the fastest growing in the world, as you know, with technological change sweeping across the region and offering many new opportunities. Countries in the region share many of the same bioresources, have the same type of agroecological conditions, and the same type of agro and bio-industrial platforms. There is a positive current trend for harmonization of policies and strategies in the region under the East African community, which can facilitate a regional approach to bioeconomy development. Of course, I will also highlight the fact that for the time being, we are suffering, of course, from the negative impact of COVID-19, a pandemic which has disrupted economies and growth in the region. And nowadays, partner states are focusing on implementing developed recovery programs in different sectors. Transformative regional integration, collaboration, and concerted action in the region can support countries to move towards modern sustainable bioeconomies. Collaboration is possible in many areas, including aligning and harmonizing policies and strategies, promoting innovation and trade, harmonization of regulations and standards for bio-based products, facilitating trade and economies of scale, collaborative capacity building in key areas of bioeconomy through building regional competence platforms and knowledge sharing mechanisms, and jointly increasing attractiveness of the region for investment, both from within the region and from foreign investors in bio-based industrial development. Ladies and gentlemen, this regional bioeconomy strategy that has been developed provides a compelling framework for putting in place agreed goals and interventions which countries in Eastern Africa can use to achieve a continental aspiration of integrating its Agenda 2063 and the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development into intersectoral national development plans and the regional aspiration contained in ESC Vision 2050, in which member states aspire to become middle-income countries. This strategy builds upon existing national and regional science, technology, and innovation policies and related instruments aimed at creating an enabling environment for increased science and technology and innovation investment to support sustainable development and socio-economic transformation. Moreover, the strategy is aligned with expressed commitments to environmental sustainability, climate change adaptation and mitigation, reversing or changing unsustainable practices. This is in the context that underpins the need for a regional bioeconomy strategy which responds to the challenges and opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, the promotion of bioeconomy is highly placed on the political and business agenda for many countries globally as a major strategic driver for the transformation and bio-based sectors for sustainable economic growth and development. A central feature of the bioeconomy is that scientific research, knowledge, and innovation can be applied not only for the production of food, feed, fiber, and fuel, but also to produce a wide range of agro-industrial and value-added products. Another critical element of bioeconomy is to build value around local bioresources, maximizing and using all parts of primary produce in the product. The bioeconomy strategy will offer an opportunity for countries in Eastern Africa to achieve many of the sustainable development goals, making use of the region's abundant natural resources, including underutilized agricultural waste materials, to produce value-added products with applications in many sectors, including food, health, energy, and industrial goods, thereby creating jobs, generating wealth, and connecting smallholders farmers to new bio-based value chain. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, this bioeconomy strategy will enhance the sustainable production and exploitation of biological resources and knowledge to support, first, food and industrial feedstock production, second, a diversified industrial sector producing a range of bio-based products, including high-quality foods, feeds, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, textile, construction products, etc., and third, protection of ecosystem services and mitigation of climate change. The strategy will transform the economy, but will put the innovation in bio-based products, processes, and businesses models at the center, and the bio-based circular economy as the organizing framework. The Eastern African regional strategy is anchored on the following thematic areas. One, food security and sustainable agriculture. Second, health and well-being. Third, sustainable energy. Fourth, bio-based industrial development. With the Eastern regional bioeconomy strategy, the private sector has been earmarked as a key stakeholder in bio-based products, processes, and business. And I wish to highlight here, ladies and gentlemen, but all of this is in harmony with the priority of EAC to promote local industries. It is with deep conviction of the East African Community Partner States and Ethiopia that the Eastern Africa regional strategy shall contribute to the Eastern Africa we want through an effective and efficient exploitation of bio-based materials, products, processes, and business models in East African community to drive the sustainable development of the region. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, EASTECO has developed the East Africa Regional Bioeconomy Observatory portal. The objective of this Bioeconomy Observatory portal is to provide regular data for policymakers to monitor the development of the bioeconomy and assess its impact, allow regional open access repository for sustainable bioeconomy data and information, and support the implementation of the regional bioeconomy strategy for East Africa. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, I hereby take this opportunity to launch the East African Regional Bioeconomy Observatory portal. And I am happy to do it while we are together in this important conference. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot conclude without taking this time to thank Bioinnovate Africa program based at ICP for providing funding for the development of the East African Community regional bioeconomy strategy and observatory, and being part of this bioeconomy conference organization. I would also like to appreciate the participants, all of you, for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend this important conference and to participate in this official launch of this East Africa Regional Bioeconomy Observatory portal. I thank you all for your presence and for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Honorable Basivamo, and congratulations, Eastern Africa, on the launch of the Eastern Africa Bioeconomy Observatory, which will be an important tool for us in sharing information on the bioeconomy. So this concludes our first round of speakers, and that we have seen that we have got a common understanding, at least of where we're going. We've managed to answer the question of a sustainable, why is a sustainable bioeconomy important for Eastern Africa? We saw that it is, bioeconomy means different things to different regions. And for Eastern Africa, it is about transforming our economies that are based on biomass through better use of that biomass and also creating jobs, among other things. We have seen that especially for our region, value addition should be at the center of our strategy to grow the bioeconomy. So it's definitely a great opportunity for the region to achieve significant growth. We have also seen that we need to forge different partnerships, especially involving the private sector, linking them to research institutions, and so that they're able to help the smallholder be linked to markets. We have also seen that we will achieve a more efficient bioeconomy if we collaborate at regional level through joint policies and strategies, developing joint standards for the goods that we produce, and jointly promote the region as an investment and trade partner, participate in joint capacity building, joint knowledge sharing, of which this bioeconomy portal is a start. And we have also seen that for us in East Africa, the bioeconomy is a major strategic plan for socioeconomic development, a strategic contributor to socioeconomic development. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an app to which you can post your questions that you'd like your speakers, to the speakers that have just spoken, to respond. We'll give them 1 minute at the end. And however, now we go straight into our keynote address that will be delivered by Professor Dr. Joachim von Braun, who is the director of the Center for Development Research and professor for economic and technological change at Bonn University.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman Gertrude Gabirano. I thank the East African Science and Technology Commission for the kind invitation. I congratulate you and commend you for the launch of the East African Bioeconomy Observatory portal launch. Is the big step. Many speak about leapfrogging into the bioeconomy as a distant opportunity. Africa, and East Africa in particular, has leapfrogged into the bioeconomy. In the last 7 years or 8 years, more than 50 countries in the world have launched bioeconomy strategies and related policies. how come that we have this trend? What's behind it? That's what we focus on in an international advisory committee on bioeconomy. This international advisory committee includes delegates from more than 40 countries, and I want to recognize Dr. Julius Ekuru, who plays an important role in the leadership team of that global bioeconomy advisory mechanism, and is a voice for Africa. Excellencies and colleagues, I will speak about transitions towards a sustainable bioeconomy from a global perspective, but I also will draw out implications in Africa and for Africa. These transitions are required from a non-sustainable economy to a sustainable society, and the role of bioeconomy playing in that transition. The non-sustainability in the food system, in the fossil energy system, in the wood and charcoal system are recognized by everyone. Also, it's important to note that building back in and after the COVID-19 virus crisis can be improved by bioeconomy strategies. Initially, 15 years ago, the bioeconomy was politically encouraged in anticipation of rapidly dwindling oil, gas, and coal reserves. Today, however, the bioeconomy is no longer driven by expected rising prices for fossil resources. Instead, science and technology, such as promoted by your organization, science and technology and innovation for sustainability have moved to the forefront. This is because of the perceived need to deal with the present and future threats of aspects of the so-called Anthropocene for people and planet, meaning the destructive effects of economic and technological use of resources. Life science innovations are at the center of these innovations, accompanied by social innovations and by digitization, which is growing so quickly, the digitization in Africa. Bioeconomy is about innovative products, processes, and changing behavior, and it is about jobs, good jobs in rural areas in particular, attractive for young people. These are driving forces of the bioeconomy in Asia, in Latin America, and in Africa. Bioeconomy is now defined as the knowledge-based production and use of biological resources to provide products, processes, and services in all economic sectors within the frame of a sustainable economic system. The concept of the bioeconomy is embedded in a circular economy and seeks synergies with other innovations, especially renewable energy. A sustainable bioeconomy protects and makes use of nature while at the same time supporting global food security, climate protection, and the regeneration of natural resources, in particular fertile soils, clean energy, and clean water. Ladies and gentlemen, bioeconomy, the bioeconomy is not a sector. Bioeconomy is not a sector. By encompassing all economic sectors, the bioeconomy can be compared to the information and communications technology because of its penetration of the economy as a whole, driven by two forces, innovations and demand. Demand from industries and demand from consumers. The bioeconomy does not flourish and will not flourish if there is not demand from end users and if there is not a demand for bio-based processes from industries. These are the fundamental drivers, accelerated and guided by science and research. Establishing a sustainable bioeconomy offers the opportunity to decouple economic growth from resource consumption through efficient methods and innovation. That puts bioeconomy at the center of new industrial strategies. As Africa is headed towards industrial transformation, another area of leapfrogging, this is critical. Aspects of energy efficiency, sustainable lifestyles, and circularity and waste prevention determine the discussion on a sustainable bioeconomy. We can expect that technological progress, particularly in life science, will lead to the development of bio-based products that combine sustainability with increased consumer benefits. Let me mention a few key breakthroughs in research that will enable new biotech applications and bio-innovations in the future, also relevant for Africa. These are enzymes for medicine and the industrial bioeconomy. These are bio-based products with special properties and functions, such as they can reproduce independently from active ingredients to ward off harmful substances, repair themselves, such as asphalts and concrete. Parts can be regrown and adapted independently to environmental change, and they fit into natural cycles. The microbial-based bioeconomy is a huge opportunity. Specific other examples growing rapidly, for instance, in the bioeconomies in Asia, are biotech spider silks, bioplastics, new packaging, bio-based materials in automotive manufacturing, functional textiles, recyclable clothes, or mushroom-based furniture production. The chain bacteria that may power cell phones, meaning moving to living batteries, is an opportunity that excites the innovation and startup communities from this year on. Examples for bio-based processes and technologies are also bio-based 3D printing. That's a big opportunity in remote areas to build industries in Africa, such as in Rwanda and elsewhere. Bionics and robotics, biomanufacturing. So by simply throwing these examples at you, I want to highlight, as previous speakers, that the sky is the limit for the innovative bioeconomy. The change to a bio-based and resource-light society also requires dialogue between politics, civil society, economy, science, and citizens. So government is called for. Farmers need to be included, consumer groups, and so on. By adapting governance structures, it may be possible to minimize the goal conflicts that are embedded in any transformation. No transformation is smooth. We need to have discussion fora like this. The need for international cooperation arises particularly with regard to measuring resource footprints and monitoring the impact of an expanding bioeconomy. Let me point out 4 points for the way forward with bioeconomy in Africa. Bioeconomy is local, and there is a global trend towards bioeconomy, as I stressed. Bioeconomy in East Africa is going to be different from Brazil's bioeconomy, or Malaysia's, or Germany's, or any other place. There are 4 big opportunities that I see in the immediate future for the African bioeconomy. Number 1 is the boosting of the food systems transformation. The potentials are big. Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, and others demonstrated. We published a study with African partners last week that highlights that the tapping the potentials relates to investments in people, skills, technologies, and reliable institutions. The study is called From Potentials to Reality, Transforming Africa's Food Production. The African organization Academia 2063 and the Center for Development Research published that study. The second opportunity is the transformation of the wood and charcoal-based cooking with local energy grids. That is so important to change the rural economy. It has huge health and environmental benefits. Here, bioeconomy needs to link up with the energy system transformation. The third area is the urban biosystems, transforming to a no-waste economy in the fast-growing urban centers of Africa with circular economy elements. And the fourth is the technological innovations in support of Africa's industrialization, bringing together the bio and the digital innovations. The big breakthroughs come about when bio and digit come together. Ladies and gentlemen, in the week of the 16th to 20th November, next month, the Global Bioeconomy community will meet virtually for the Global Bioeconomy Summit, the Summit 2020, to discuss trends in the bioeconomy, policy activities, emerging opportunities of global and local relevance. This summit will provide, again, leadership in shaping global bioeconomy policies, and I invite you all to participate in this virtual event. It's the third time that we have this event. Your conference today in East Africa is a key building block in building up the bioeconomy consultations at global level from the bottom up. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another big opportunity for you to engage. That is the Food Systems Summit of the United Nations Secretary General next year in 2021. This is a big opportunity to integrate food systems transformation with the bioeconomy. Africa's partnership and voice in this forum, leading up to the UN Secretary General's Food Systems Summit, for which I am the chair of the scientific group. Leading up to that is of global importance. It's of global importance that Africa engages in that. Again, congratulations to the fast development of the African bioeconomy, which is in your hands. Thank you for your cooperation and for your invitation to speak to you. Thank you.
Many thanks, Professor Joachim von Braun. I think I speak for everybody that we've gained a lot from your few minutes that you had to speak to us. We have learned that we can actually leapfrog, which is good news for us as Africa. We do not have to go through all the stages that everybody has gone through. We can actually leapfrog. And the sky is the limit for an innovation bioeconomy. So we are on the right track. Thank you so much. So I don't know how we can give a virtual applause. I'll do it for them. Thank you very much. So we will have, we really have not managed time well because of challenges with technology. This is the first time we're doing this. I think we've done fairly well. We needed to engage our participants to see if they could maybe ask one or two questions. I don't know whether I have that opportunity. I think I have 4 minutes. 4 minutes left, and the app. Okay, I have just one question from the audience. Right, no, this may not be relevant for you, but since I still have 2 minutes, may I ask you to maybe talk to us about what kind of partnerships you think are most crucial for us for our bioeconomy development in East Africa? The partnerships we need to put in place, because obviously we cannot work in isolation. And you said that bioeconomy is not a sector. It's a collaboration of many other development sectors. So which ones do you think are key? Obviously, there are many partnerships we need to put in place, but there must be some key ones that we need to be looking out for.
The global trend which we have observed, and thank you for this question, is that we have a fast trend of the buildup of the global bioeconomy, but it has moved more and more local and regional. The partnerships at a regional level. So merging the opportunities with the agroecology, say in Western Kenya, with the innovation potentials of the digital hubs in Nairobi, just to give you an example, with the science and tech capabilities of ECP and others. These are the types of platforms on which the private sector then can jump and on which the development partners from Sweden, Germany, and elsewhere, and the African Development Bank can bring in their financing. So we have to build partnerships which are attractive to the public and private financiers and have the end users in mind. So there need to be products and industrial processes to come out of that. This is, I think, absolutely key. Secondly, I think you have laid the ground with the Observatory portal. So connect to it inroads where the startup community can connect and build their own platforms. Let them grow rather than you grow them.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We will now, I will now give 1 minute to you in case there's something that you want to, your parting shot to us as participants in this conference and as East Africans trying to build a bioeconomy. 1 minute to you.
It's to me, you said?
Yes, to you, Prof.
You're so generous. Thank you. The East African Economic Community and the Science and Technology Commission have pioneered bioeconomy in Africa. I want to encourage you to go all African with the African Union, embracing the continent, north, east, south, west. The next big thing would be the African Bioeconomy Conference. Upgrade your portal to that. And I look for a show of force from Africa at the Global Bioeconomy Summit. At the first summit, 2015, there were 5 Africans. At the second Bioeconomy Summit, there were about 40. This time, at the virtual one, I hope there will be about 400. Exponential growth in the consultations and the investment is what I wish for you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You've given us something to look up to, develop an African Bioeconomy Observatory and also an African Bioeconomy Conference, which is good for us to have as an ambition. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate. I would also like to give a few 30 seconds to each of my previous speakers, if they can also give us their parting shots that you want us to remember.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you, Madam Chair. Let me add, first I want to congratulate the speakers and the keynote speaker who has said a lot of useful things. So let me add a few things. I think what I would add also to this is that for bioeconomy to really benefit the continent, I urge also policymakers to create innovation-friendly policies. For example, when we develop a product, we have to work with registration regulatory bodies for each and every country. So if a possibility is created for regions to work together, like East African Community and so on, to standardize the registration process, this would really take this to a next step. Another thing I want to raise is the need for capacity building and raising public awareness, also for introducing what is possible in this arena to policymakers, to innovators, and to a number of other key players. And the other thing I want to really raise is investment. As I have indicated in my opening remark, that at the moment, the government of Sweden, through SIDA, invests in Bioinnovate Africa, covering 6 East African countries of Kenya, Ethiopia, Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. What can African governments do? There are many ways of innovative investment. How about adding $1 in every tax that you collect for bioeconomy, boosting bioeconomy in the region, or $1 in tickets, airplane tickets, for example. So there are many different ways of innovative investment. Investment is needed in capacity building, in helping also startup companies and other investors, other key players to really ground bioeconomy in the region. So let us think in that arena as well. Thank you very much.
In the interest of time, I'll move straight to Honorable Basivamo. I think he sorted the volume issue. Welcome, Honorable.
So thank you, Jeffrey. And I think as you are discussing and targeting African as a continent, it's also important to ensure you are bringing all stakeholders on board, especially when it comes to implementation. And this needs kind of advocacy for bioeconomy approach. It needs sensitization and also awareness creation. And I think all this, you have to work together, and it is important to bring all stakeholders in a kind of multidisciplinary approach, and also try to ensure that considering and having in mind that actually bioeconomy was there in the past, before we have embraced the easy way of doing business using this fossil oil, and being later on dependent on oil. This has been there in the past. We have moved to easy way of living, and you are destroying our environment. You are destroying actually our life basis. So to come back on bioeconomy and ensure it becomes sustainable and it is embraced by everyone, it's important, of course, to once again bring on board consumers to ensure our consumers understand what is the best way to move forward, and to ensure you are reducing somehow oil dependency and promoting bio-consumption. So this is very important, and it can only happen if all stakeholders, including policymakers, are on board, understand the challenges, and take the lead, because normally it is only when there is a political will that we can expect successful achievements. So bringing on board all leaders, mobilizing parliamentarians to ensure they are understanding what is concerns. These are things which are very important, and we at the East African community level as we are promoting local industries and having in mind that more than 70% of our industries are agro-based industries. And when we are considering also that when it comes to trade, more than 65% of our trade is about agro commodities trade. So it will be easy if everyone understand, so that we can achieve actually the target, the objective we have. This issue of sensitization, mobilization, awareness creation, and the advocacy is key. So let us work together. We have to move with a positive mind. It is possible, but it will take a bit long, in my understanding.
Thank you.
But together you can achieve. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Basivamo. I take this opportunity to thank all our speakers this morning, also for bearing with us with the technical issues that have arisen. Thank you, Dr. Kilemu, Professor Nielsen, Honorable Christophe Basivamo, Mr. Muyambi, and of course, our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Joachim von Braun, for honoring us this morning and giving us important nuggets and helping us set the tone for the rest of the conference. Thank you so much. We apologize for the overrun in the time, but I think we'll do better as now we've got a way around with the technology. Thank you all so much. Thank you, all the audience. Thank you, our speakers. And this is the end of this session.